it is a minimal sound. Yes, that can cause it. So this is how we arrive at all the sounds that we have in English language. And how many sounds do we have altogether in English?
It's what?
44.
Yes.
24 consonants, 20 vowels. So this is how we arrive at it. So that's minimal case. Now going to what we now call neutralization of a phoneme. Phoneme means sound. A phoneme is a sound. Now in pronunciation, when we speak, often it is possible that a particular sound can become neutralized, making it sound like a closed phoneme. No, you can take your notes now. I'm not dictating. That sometimes when we talk, you understand, particularly in a rapid speech moment, there are some phonemes that become neutralized, such that you can rather make them to be this phoneme or to be another phoneme, even in the course of the transcription, to be allowed. It is only when you have a slow pronunciation that is when you can clearly distinguish that sound. But in a rapid situation, it becomes difficult to either distinguish the phoneme to be A or B. In other words, you can either as, assign any of the phoneme that sound like that to that sound. I'll give you an example. An example is this word, infant. How do you pronounce that word?
Infant.
Infant, right? The first sound here we got E, right?
Yes, sir.
The second sound we got N. In. Then the next sound we got. The next sound we got. You understand? It's a short sound.
Yes.
Yes, because that syllable is an unstressed syllable. Infant will take its primary stress on the first syllable. The second syllable is unstressed. By virtue of being unstressed, the vowel there becomes a weak vowel, a short sound. Then followed by what? Infant. Followed by what? Infant. Now the second phoneme here is right?
Yes.
That is, you'll be able to distinguish this sound only in a rapid situation. Sorry, in a slow situation.
Yes.
If you are pronouncing this word in a rapid context, you may hardly distinguish whether you are actually pronouncing this or you are pronouncing this. Infant. I met two infants outside. It will sound as if you are actually pronouncing You understand? So if you are transcribing this in a rapid situation, a rapid speech transcription, you can either ascribe or to the transcription. Both of them will be accepted. Because we know that in actual rapid context, rapid situation context, you see that the sound has become neutralized. It is neutralized. It is neither this nor this. You understand? So that's an example. There are so many examples that I can also give. Inborn. When you say something is inbuilt, you understand? You say it has an inbuilt camera. Inbuilt camera. The spelling is actually INBUILT. In the slow pronunciation, you can say inbuilt. But in a rapid situation, that second phoneme there, will become neutralized such that you can either allocate or to it for your transcription. Yes. Yeah, it has an inbuilt camera, and nobody will say that the transcription is wrong. So it is only in advanced phonetics and phonological class that you'll be able to identify this. So if somebody brings something like that to you, you are not going to say that the transcription is wrong. You are not going to know that no, it's correct. The person is doing a rapid speech transcription. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So this is one instance. There are also other instances that you can also have an instance of what do you call it? A phoneme being neutralized. Infant, inborn, the inbuilt, and so on and so forth. These are some of the examples. You understand? So, in case you see a transcription, either in an exam or an institution, and then you are now asked to explain the phonological behaviors of certain sounds here. These are some of the things you are not going to tell us. That explain what has happened, what has occurred to those phonemes. Why are they behaving that way? You are not the one that will not explain to us that. Yes, what happens here is that actually this is the original phoneme that is found in this position. But as a result of the context where it is found, particularly when you have the nasal alveolar, which is n, coming before a voiced bilabial plosive, which is b. In a rapid situation context, a rapid speech context, the nasal will become neutralized such that it may rather be pronounced as bilabial nasal or you pronounce it as what do you call it? Nasal alveolar. You understand? Or alveolar nasal. These are the two. So this is the explanation in that given. So that when you do that, then we'll be able to say yes, you actually understand what they are talking about. You have some kind of understanding of the workings of sounds in phonology.
Is it bilateral? Bilateral.
Which one?
You said bilateral.
Bilabia.
Okay,
It's not bilateral. Bilabia. That's bilabia. You understand? So that is one instance. Another instance of a case of neutralization of a phoneme is a situation where a phoneme entirely becomes unrealized. It also happens that sometimes a phoneme will become unrealized, and this situation is even entirely different from the first situation. You know, the first situation I said you can either assign a particular phoneme to it, but in this case, the phoneme disappears entirely, and it also occurs in a context where a bilabial nasal, you understand, comes in contact with a bilabial plosive, particularly voiced bilabial plosive. And what is bilabial nasal? That's right? That's why I told you to do this. To have this. This is bilabial. If you have your what do you call it? Manners of articulation, you are going to have nasal somewhere here, and under bilabial you are going to see So anytime we say bilabial nasal, we are referring to this sound. See, that's why it's important you know this. So when bilabial nasal appears before a voiced bilabial plosive, this is a voiced bilabial plosive. This plosive will become neutralized, will become entirely unrealized. It will become zero. Example, particularly when it occurs at what initial position. Yes. For instance, when you have something like BOMB, this is a bilabial nasal.
Yes.
And after it, you have void bilabial plosive. And they meet at um, final position, at a final position. So the rule says that this plosive will become unrealized, it will become null, so that the word will now be pronounced as bomb. They are not going to say bomb. Even when you add this morpheme er to bomb, you are not going to say bomber. You still say bomber. Suicide bomber. The same thing with comb, which you use to arrange your hair. The same things apply. So we say kiln. Kiln. You don't say kiln. You don't say combo. The same thing with where people are buried. You don't say tomb. You say tomb. The same thing with this, your finger here. You don't say thumb print. Thumb print. That is even mouthful. So this is the same thing applicable. You say thumb. Thumb. Thumb
Print.
print. Thumb print.
Print.
So why is it that this one is not realized? It's because the rule says when we have this combination at final position, the plosive becomes unrealized. Yes. However, you have to be careful. It's not the same thing with when you have um, something like tumbler. You are not going to say tumbler. You understand? Because the rule is not applicable here because this is not final position. This is not final position. The rule says what final position? What final position? The rule is applicable. But this one, this combination here is not what final position. It's still what final position. This one is just a morpheme. You cannot remove this one now. Yeah, it does not make sense. It's part of the word. It's part of the word. So it's not applicable. That's what happened. So these are some of the instances of the neutralization of a phoneme. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yeah.
So, but I'm in your test for exam, I will not be asking you to explain what neutralization of the phoneme. I can give you different transcriptions and ask you to explain the phonological processes that have happened, yes, to them. You are not the one that was okay, well, this is what happens here. This is what happens here. So you just need to understand this very, very well. Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Any question? Any other question?